guys looking to work on and improve on before next week's game at Tennessee?
Yeah, we call it, some people call it bye week, we call it work week. Offense is trying to work on just a lot of communication things, and also just really hone in and execute on the passing game.
And talk about executing the passing game, what kind of different things y'all try to get done there?
Just kind of all around, quarterbacks to receivers, getting signals in, more clean and crisp on our routes and everything like that.
How much of an issue was getting the signals in quickly past game this summer with Notre Dame?
In a lot of scenarios, it wasn't. We were getting a lot quicker than Notre Dame can handle. And, sometimes it's hard to see. There's a lot of people on the sideline, a lot of lights, but we usually do a pretty good job with signals.
Kirk said that each player this week, kind of 3 or 4 things specifically wants that player to work on. Kind of what are some things you specifically have been told by the coaches to work on this week?
Yeah, I'm trying to clean up my route running ability a little bit and just be a little more clean and crisp on it. Also, just communicating with receivers and the tackles on run game stuff, just to be perfect every time.
You have those specific things from the coaches. How different is that than maybe a regular game when you're preparing for an opponent? Now it's kind of what the coaches are looking for out of you.
Yeah, especially with a week like this week, you don't have a team to look forward to at the end of the week. You're more just playing yourself and playing each other, and you just try to work on those few things that your coach gave you to get better, and makes it simple this week. What you need to do, what you need to go do on the field every day.
Do you have any plans this weekend? Anything fun that you're doing during your time off?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go watch my hometown team play. They're playing in Monticello. We'll watch them Friday night and go hunt with my fiance Saturday morning and just kind of chill in Athens.
Did you guys start work on Tennessee today?
No, not really. We did a lot of good on good, just going against each other, just really trying to get better.
What do you remember from last year's game against Tennessee?
That was here. Last year's game, I remember it was physical. They had some really good DNs. Honestly, other than that, I struggle to remember what I ate for breakfast, to be honest with you.
Can you talk about you guys, the tight ends, make some really important blocks in this scheme, specifically on the perimeter. You just talk about how difficult of a block that is. Big guys like yourself and Eli going out there trying to take on a cornerback sometimes in the open field, and kind of how important it is to those plays succeeding.
Yeah, definitely. And perimeter blocks are a big thing for us tight ends, especially when it comes to perimeter game or outside zones and stuff. Usually we're the one who kind of springs that play. We're either one who springs it to a big play, or if we miss it, it's not a good play at all. And so, especially out in space in the perimeter, they can be really hard. Because that DB's got a two-way go sometimes. They're usually a little smaller, a little quicker than us. It's usually a pretty tough block, but we work on it all the time in practice and to be the best we can at it.
Was that part of one of the disappointing things, I guess, as far as last week goes, as far as some of the perimeter blocking? There were a couple that
definitely a few that we wanted back. Definitely, and Notre Dame had a really good scheme against us against our perimeter run games. We've been doing so well at it the first 3 games. We've been really working on it hard again this week.
As a guy that plays on that punt coverage unit, what have you guys been saying to Jake Camarda these past few days after we had a couple not as good punts against Notre Dame, especially that one in the fourth quarter?
And Jake's a great punter. And honestly, we've been telling him to just be the guy we know you are in practice. Because that dude kicks some bombs, and no one's mad at him. No one's doing anything bad. He's just getting back out there, get back into rhythm, and keep kicking because he's a really good kicker.
Charlie, what did it appear that the offense was out of sync in the first half? We're used to seeing you guys score more than 7 points in a half, typically.
Yeah, I would say there's a few things. I think Notre Dame's defense came out playing really hard in the first half, and they were definitely loading the box up with a lot more than we anticipated. But we came out in the second half, kind of fixed a lot of those issues and figured out how to do some of those run plays. They just had so many in there, we couldn't block them all, but we figured out how to do it in the second half.
What's the difference with Jake Fromm and the 2-minute offense? I mean, it looks like you guys go 2-minute and everything just comes to life. How much of that's Jake and just the rhythm you guys are able to jump into?
I think a lot of it just comes with how much we do it in practice. We do 2 minutes so much. We work it. It's 2 minutes. It's all just look at the sideline, get that one play call, line as quick as you can, do it. Get out of bounds, whatever, get a first down, and just look. It's all just a rhythm. Doing the play, looking back, doing it again, and we just practice it so much.
In your timer, how much of a benefit is it when you have a bye week? You can work on some stuff you're going to see from opponents down the road.
Yeah, definitely. Bye weeks are a lot of help. Lets the guys who are injured get healthy, and lets the guys who need to work on some things work on them. And especially this year, we're in 2. I think one's like another month from now or whatever. But bye weeks are a big help, and you can really. That's when some teams really gain a lot on other teams, because some teams treat it as a bye week, we treat it as a
How much of a benefit is it when you can look at stuff you're going to see from other teams?
We don't do a lot of that, but we'll start looking at a few like exotics from other teams and stuff. But mainly, we're really just focusing on fundamentals again and just kind of little things.
You're a guy that's really good at walking out the outside. I know you don't do the Twitter and you stay pretty focused, but last week it seemed like there was a lot going on. I mean, how much of a relief was it to put that game behind you, and how hard was it, do you think, to keep some of your teammates focused with all the stuff going on?
Yeah, definitely. It was something Coach Smart kind of stressed over the week. That game felt like it just much hype around it as the dang SEC championship. It felt like there was a lot of hype around that game. It was definitely a lot to block out, but afterwards it was awesome. I mean, the game was awesome, and afterwards a little bit of a relief, sure, but I don't know. At the same time, I think most of the team did a pretty good job of coming in the building, come to butts, focus on what they need to focus on, get better in practice, and we were just really ready for that game. I think most guys blocked all the noise out.
What about in the game with all the?
What has Lawrence Gager brought to this offense? What kind of presence does he have in the locker room on the practice field?
Yeah, Lawrence has brought a lot to this team. He's a big receiver, big guy. He's an older guy. He's fifth year, and so he brings a lot of leadership and really just that a really good work ethic to the field. And in the long term, he's just a good guy. He's a lot older and he's pretty wise.
In what ways we're going through a game like this where your team is distressed to get it, and how, in what way it can help y'all moving forward?
You mean beat Notre Dame?
Yeah, and the manner y'all did have to be pushed entire 4 quarters. How was that going to help the team?
Oh yeah, definitely. Going 4 quarters was awesome. We didn't play the best game that we wanted to. Like you said, we left a lot on the field, but finally for our first time to go 4 quarters was a big test for us, and really just got guys kind of ready for that, and everyone played a lot of snaps, and knows how to. I think 4th quarter really finished that game really strong. I'm just ready for another 4th.
Did y'all learn something about yourselves that y'all didn't know going in?
Yeah, I think with games like that, when we go through so much adversity and stuff, you can only go through so much adversity in practice. You go through a lot of real adversity during games, and so we learn how to bounce back and just kind of take the punches and keep on giving punches too during that game.
How unique was it during the game with the lights, turn out the lights between quarters, things like that? I mean, what did that do? Was that an energizer, or you think that everybody stayed on the same wavelength?
Man, that got us fired up. I know it got me fired up, especially in 4th quarter. And I was sitting there, we were like talking. It was still offensive drive, and the lights shut off, and then those dang red ones came on. That was awesome. I mean, we got the team pumped up, and I'm glad they did that installation of those lights. It's really cool, really special.
Eli Wolf didn't come here with a lot of career catches. Did you think, or did you see on the practice field that he had the skill set to be a guy that could be a part of the passing game like he has been?
Definitely, man. Eli's a really clean and crisp route runner. He's a really fast guy. Since he first got here in June, learned a lot about him, and what he brought to the passing game, he brought something, an element that we needed on this offense. And he's a really good player for us. And he's going to help us out a lot.
You were one of the guys that recruited him. I mean, what is that like, helping, recruit a guy that's going to be at the same position you and Jake early, jumping on, and you've had a few newcomers. You mentioned Cager, Wolf, DJ Daniel, bringing in outside guys that aren't freshmen. How is that different?
I guess it's a little different. You're bringing in older dudes, but at the same time, you're just trying to win games and you want to get the best possible players on your team that you can to win ball games, and that's what we're trying to do. It's the same thing with freshmen. You're trying to get good guys to come up to play for you. And, I guess it's a similar deal. You've got guys who've had experience in the SEC. Except Cager, Miami, but I don't know.
Did you, it's ancient history now, I can't remember if you were recruited by Tennessee, but I know you're an outdoors guy, and you probably go straight up 441 to get to Knoxville there from home. Was that a place you considered during recruiting?
No, I kind of wanted to stay closer. I never really considered Tennessee, but I was recruited by them.
2 more questions?
You mentioned having a fiance. How long has that been the case?
I proposed to Sydney March 2nd of this past year. So we've been engaged for a few months now, and we're getting married June 27th this summer, and I'm super excited. She's the love of my life.
What's your name? Last name?
Her name's Sydney Gillen.
Did Jeff give you some advice about being a college player and being engaged and all that?
Definitely, yeah. No, I looked up to Jeff a lot, and I learned a lot from him and how to do it the right way. More importantly, he's definitely a big influence in my life. So very thankful for him.